Hey everybody, today is Friday, September 23rd, and these pups are on the move. They are just a little bit over 2 weeks old, and check out these eyes. They're starting to open. Here's Mr. Gray. His eyes are almost done opening, but not quite. Some of the other pups have a little bit larger opening. Mr. Blue, look at him. His eyes are big and open. And so Mr. Gray, his eyes are almost done opening. Not quite. Mr. Orange. And they're talking to us. So they can hear me talking because their ears are now unsealing too. So they're getting used to the sounds of life around them. They're also getting more mobile. Look at these guys walk. Look at Mr. Orange. He's up on all four. They're not very steady. They're not very efficient. And oftentimes they'll just tip over and roll around. But they are doing so good. These guys are very happy with their progress. They're right where we would expect them to be. We're just here in our puppy room. They're clean and happy, and they're at good temperatures. Mama is taking such good care of them. We got Yellow talking to us. Hello, Yellow. Are you telling me you want mommy? Are you telling us you want mommy? Let's bring everybody over to the cameras. Let's see who we have over here. Mr. Red is hiding over in the corner, right underneath this camera. So we can always tell who ate the most last by who's active and who's a sleepyhead. So these guys are pretty good about self-rotating with a rotation. So we have the ones who ate the most last: purple, black, gray, blue, red. So they're kind of down for the count. And right now we have awake and active, kind of Mr. Green, yellow, orange, and light blue. So dark blue is asleep, kind of red is more asleep. So that's how we know who ate last and who ate the most. So Mama is producing great milk supplies for these guys. We don't have to supplement anybody. And she is eating a ton, drinking a ton of water, and that's exactly what we want her to be doing. So we keep close tabs on her quality of nutrition intake and make sure that she's got plenty of milk to go around. And these guys just take turns. So when some go to sleep, then the others wake up and they head on over to Mama, and Mama has a great onboard feature that is all about supply and demand. So if there's enough demand, her system knows how to regulate and produce that supply. And Miss Breezy's just off to the other side of the room hanging out, so we can let the pups be the whole star of the show here in our puppy room. So I'm gonna kind of move in to their space here and get comfy with them for a second, do some cuddle time. Hi, Orange, are you looking right up at the camera? Yeah, look at those eyes. Yours are open so well. So by 2.5, 3 weeks, we expect their eyes to be fully open. I don't know if the camera's gonna do it justice. We'll see whose eyes are the most awake. I'm gonna use Orange since he's kind of up and going. Their eyes are open, but they're a little tiny bit cloudy. So it takes a little bit of time, a couple of days, for the kind of haze in their bright new eyes to clear, and their eyes start out as kind of a baby blue color. As they age, those eyes change to more of a green, and eventually with their adult coat, as they mature, the eye color is going to turn into the amber, the golden color that matches their coat colors. But for now, they get their baby blues. So I'm going to tilt this camera up here for a second, and we'll see which pups kind of kick the camera over. We'll see. I'm not sure who's gonna stay put and not. So I'm gonna kick my shoes off here so I don't accidentally, I can feel the pups better without my shoes on when we snuggle with them. That way I don't accidentally get somebody underneath the sole of my boot or the sole of my shoe. Hi pups. Can we be friends for a minute? I'm gonna come sit by you. This is what we do when we come hang out with the pups. We just kind of spread ourselves out. Let me get this tightened back up. And we hold the pups. Kind of come in here and sit by them. Let them relax with us. And I'm gonna tilt this camera a little bit. I think that'll give you a good view of each one. I'm not gonna go in any particular order. Just gonna pick up a pup, let them be the star of the show here for a second. So we do some very gradual conditioning with the pups. At this age, they can start to hear things, see things. So we take things very slow, very gentle with them, with our handling with them, with the things that we expose them to. They're right here in our home, so on the other side of that wall going that way is our family room. The outside is on this wall, and on this side is our stairs to our upstairs. So the pups hear us through the walls and kind of get acclimated to life in general from that perspective, from just living in a normal household with kids and things like that. In fact, today I chose today's video time because Katie and the kids are on the road. They headed out to some doctor appointments and things like that, so I knew the house would be more quiet, not any background noises to contend with for today. This video. Here's Mr. Gray, and he's kind of tired. His eyes are still trying to open. You can see how they're slightly open, but not all the way. And we got dark blue. He's coming up next. So with a lot of our conditioning that we do with the pups, we just pay close attention to how they respond. What's their attitude? What's their behaviors? What are the early indications of what some of their personalities could become? We observe, and then we report to you guys what we learn about our observations at that 5-week mark, when we feel like we've seen their early demonstrations of what their personalities could be, and then we share our observations with the families. So we do our best to try to have the pups fairly even. We want them to kind of be equally exposed to a lot of the different variables of life that we want to prepare them for, but they will handle that differently. Every pup's going to handle that slightly different, one from the other. So some pups are going to naturally be a little bit more bold. Oh, was that a yawn for the camera? So cute. Some pups are going to naturally be a little bit more bold. Some are going to be a little bit more reserved. The bold ones, when there's something that causes them to question life in general, or causes them to feel concern or apprehension, things like that, some pups will approach right off the bat. They'll go investigate. Those pups are a little bit more confident, a little bit more bold, and the other pups might kind of sit back for a second, observe, let the other pup lead out, and once they observe the other pup's reaction or responses, things like that, then they'll choose how they're going to respond. So some pups will kind of retreat for a second, takes them a minute to warm up, and other pups will kind of immediately respond and warm up to the scenario right off the bat. So we try to pay attention to assertiveness, confidence, boldness, how inquisitive are they with the new element that they're being presented with. We pay attention to which ones are a little bit more reserved, which ones are a little bit more cautious. Some pups are just, they're going to hang back a little bit. Perhaps not the leader of the pack type mentality, where they're just going to charge in to investigate and figure out what they're experiencing. Some pups hang back a little bit until their confidence with that scenario is built, and from their own experience they say, hey, that loud noise startled me to start with, but I heard it before. I didn't die when I heard it. There was nothing negative associated with that. And so the first time something might startle them, a new noise may startle them. We pay attention to who responds in what ways on the newest example of that experience. And so, because on the second and third, fourth, fifth, 10th exposures to those experiences, all the pups, they basically even out at that point. So the ones that were cautious, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, may be very indifferent on the 6th time, 7th time, 8th time, and then they're more inquisitive on the 9th time and the 10th time, and things like that. So their personalities, their ability to adapt and respond changes over time with how many exposures they've had to those different experiences. So we feel like it's our job to try to give them as many kind of life experiences as we can as a group, to have them start to prepare and acclimate for life in general in this human canine interface that they experience with us. So right now you can see they're pretty well tuckered out. They're all settling down. Every time I set one down, they don't just keep walking around. When I set them down, they go back to sleep. So that's perhaps a good moment to talk about some of the other personality variables that we share with people, and that is energy levels. As you can see, now that we've started this video, and the first ones that were very awake and talkative are now no longer kind of the active ones. They're pretty well tuckered out and settling down, things like that. So energy levels with every puppy, it's a little bit hard to quantify that in some regards, because energy levels are going to vary moment to moment almost at this age. Their energy level is going to be based off of a lot of the milk sugars that they still have available in their digestive system. how long ago was it that they ate, how much energy do they still have from that, when were they last active, and how long was their last nap. So we try to share with families, what our observations are. And part of these videos is to help people see the puppies' interactions with each other. And we try to make the videos long enough that you can kind of see how big the energy gas tank is for each puppy. Right now their gas tank for energy levels is not very big. It's maybe 15 minutes. And by the time they go home from here, their energy gas tank is about an hour. And so their energy gas tank grows quite a bit during these next 6 weeks here with us. So we try to increase the amount of time that these videos take and let some of that energy and that disposition and personality differences have a chance to shine through. We do our best to try to give each puppy their fair share of their moment, their 15 minutes of fame on the camera, so to speak, for the videos, and try to give them all their fair share of time in the spotlight for each of the videos. I apologize in advance if one of the pups seems to get more time and one of the pups seems to get less time than the others. Sometimes we have a pup that kind of congregates close to our feet and kind of hangs out closer to us. My experience has been, I am starting to see a pattern. I may not give them the full amount of their fair share of time in the spotlight on the other side of the camera lens. So I'll do my best about paying attention to who's at my feet and who's out exploring and things like that. So, and then some of the pups that may not get a lot of screen time may be some of the more confident pups, because they may be ranging out a little bit farther away from the camera, exploring the perimeters of the spaces that they have. If we're outside with them, they might be exploring a little bit farther away from me. And so I try to do my best about when we're outside doing videos to walk around and figure out who's where and what they're doing, and share our observations about why they're doing what they're doing. Exploring perimeters is kind of a normal thing for pups to do as they get older. They have this instinct with them to not get lost from their pack. So some pups will kind of hang out closer to us to start off with and then range out, and other pups will range out first and then come back and check in with us. So try to include them all regardless of what phase they are at with their exploration of the environment that they're in for that particular video. I think we've given everybody their fair share of time. I've tried to pick up everybody a couple times and snuggle with them momentarily, give them some people snuggle times and things like that. Let them start to associate some positive tactile feedback from us. They just love this right here. They love to be kind of nestled with us. This is very comforting to them, and they love kind of being head to tail, given a little bit of a back rub. That's very soothing to them. So I think they've all had a chance to do that. I love at this age their little toenails. Their little toes are absolutely adorable. Their nails are long enough now. They've got this little tiny hook at the end of their nail. We don't clip their nails for about another week. We let them keep those nails because it gives them enough traction here in their puppy blanket area that helps them to get their feet underneath them and steady and walk. So after they get a little bit more steady on their feet, then we'll clip those nails back a little bit and start their little pedicure. Give them a little pedicure, manicure on their feet. So start clipping their nails here in the next little while after they start figuring out how to walk around really good. So thanks for watching today's video. We look forward to sharing more about the pups. This next week, it's going to be a big week for them because they get to utilize that energy in new and different ways. Now that they can see things, now that they can hear things and figure out what's going on around them, they start to become a lot more active, and it is so fun to see all of that take place. So stay tuned for this next week's update, and thanks for watching. We love these pups. They're doing great.